Pastor Oliver. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, brother.
Oh,
Man,
man.
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you. Man, thank you so much for being able to do this interview with us today.
Amen.
For those of you who are watching this live, Pastor Oliver is the director of Agape Hope in Nairobi, Kenya. And Pastor Oliver and his wife are some of my favorite people in the world. I hope she can join us soon. But Pastor Oliver, can you tell anyone who's watching a little bit about you and a little bit about your ministry?
Okay. As
There she
you have
goes.
heard, my name is Pastor Oliver Chiraba. I love the Lord. I'm here in Kenya, especially Nairobi. I'm doing the ministry with Agape Hope Children's Home, together with my wife, Margaret. She'll be joining me very soon. We are here in Kenya, in Dagoretti specific, a place called Waithaka. That's where we are doing our ministry. And Agape, as you know, is the pure love between God and a human being. And that's what we are trying to implement. We are trying to do what God wants us to do, to take care, to share, and to love those people that need the love of God.
Amen.
Agape is a ministry for orphans and vulnerable children. We run a program also for a school, a rescue center. It's a home for vulnerable children, orphans, and some few needy children. Even a place where many children, street children, have called a home.
Amen.
A place where they have found love. Okay, my wife just joined me.
The better half.
Yeah.
Hey,
so,
how are you?
Hi.
You look
I'm
lovely
good.
today.
Thank you.
I miss you guys so much. It's so good to see both of
Miss
you.
you too.
We miss you too, Coleman. We miss you so much.
Pastor Oliver was just telling us a little bit about your ministry, telling everyone who's watching just a little bit about you guys' ministry. You guys do a ton of different things. You guys have the school going. You guys have the rescue center going. And then you're doing a bunch of other things. You have the church going too. You guys have your hands in a lot. I love how at the center of every single one of your ministries is something exactly like you just said, Pastor Oliver, agape, which is just
Thank
that
you.
pure love. Every single time I've gone over to see you guys, that pure love just embodies the projects that you're working with and the ministry that you're working with. Can you tell us a little bit more about the rescue center in particular? How many children are you guys working with?
Okay, the rescue center, before the coronavirus, COVID-19, we were dealing in the home with 148 children. But the ministry itself, we are reaching out to almost 500 children every day in our activity. And these children, we offer them education, be priority in life. The love of God, that's a spiritual nourishment that we're also trying to be giving to the children. And it's both girls and boys from different age. We normally pick children even from 0 age, even from 1 day, and then we rescue them. We give them a place to be.
Amen.
So for the rescue, we give an opportunity for abandoned children, for street children, and what I've been doing with my wife and also the other team that's now working with me, we go to the streets and we talk to the children there. We found a variety of children. Some are children on the street and some are children of the street. So what we do, we give those children, those who are really desire to have a place where they can call home. So we are here to give them a family set-up home again. So they are back here with us. We bring them in, we take through some session, we do a rehabilitation for them. Those who will be rehabilitated, they stay here with us. After that, sometimes we do an integration. We do a tracing program. We trying to find where they came from, why are they in street. Then from there, if we realize that maybe there was a family issue, we bring the children back with us. And those who parents have been looking for, or they have relatives who can take care of them, we integrate the child back to their family.
Yeah,
Amen.
I want to talk specifically about the ministry to street children in just a little bit, because I think that's something that's very unique to your ministry. There's a lot of ministries that work with street children, but I think that's something that's very unique to your guys' heart, and the way you do it is a very unique way. And so I'd love for the listeners to be able to see and hear that. Before we get into that, I want to get some updates specifically on you guys related to COVID-19 and the coronavirus. And so first off, just how are you guys doing in the midst of the virus?
Okay, what I'll say with COVID-19, I'll say it has really changed everything. And I'll say it has made so many children are scared. And even us going to the street, it's even scary because you don't know who has COVID, who has the virus, and who doesn't have the virus. And apart from that, the ministry is not allowing any child who is outside to be allowed inside the compound. So meaning, even if you get any case, it's very hard even to rescue that child. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you find you're frustrated to an extent whereby I don't know what to say, because it's very hard, because there are children outside there who are really going through stuff, but you cannot bring them and mingle them with the other and let them mingle with the other children, because they say if they come, maybe they are infected, so they are going to infect the other children. So it's very, very hard.
Yeah. Again, I think, for those of you watching in America, it can be a little difficult to understand how these ministries work overseas all the time. But any project that's working with children typically has a very specialized approach to the type of children that they're working with. And the reality is, sometimes there's such a mass of vulnerable children. A project will choose this child to work with instead of this child, and this child, and this child, to get a very specialized approach. And Oliver and Margaret, they've just taken this approach to just work with some of the most vulnerable children that they can find, children that other projects might shy away from because of the traumatic issues. The child raised on the streets has just gone through some severe trauma, and they have some severe issues. And so you guys have taken in children that no other project would choose to work with. Yes. And I know how tough this must be for you right now, because you guys have always wanted to work with the children that no one else is capable of working with. And with the coronavirus, it's just put that restriction on you guys. I know that must be tough for you guys. Can you explain to me a little bit about the logistics of what's going on in Kenya? What is daily life like there right now? How are you guys restricted in travel and getting groceries?
Okay, it has become very hard, because going even to the market, it's hard. And just as you've had one of the biggest market, which is close to us, mm-hmm. It has been affected. So going there, it's very hard. And not only being hard, even some of the stuff, the vegetables that used to be brought to the market, people are no longer bringing. And even if they bring very little, and the prices are very high. And apart from that, we also had people who would pop in anytime. The community, they would bring us food stuff. Some would bring vegetables, others would bring cereals. But right now, it's very, very hard. And it's hard for us because no one is bringing in food. And even the food that we are to go buy from outside, it's very expensive. So it becomes a challenge even to give our children a balanced diet. Right now, I'll say what most people are just doing is making sure that their tummies are full so that the children will not cry of hunger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so for those of you who are watching, you know, I want you to be able to listen to these stories and allow that to resonate with you in your own particular situation. I know in America, which is probably most people watching this are going to be from America. You know, you've gone to the grocery stores and you've seen a couple of items that aren't necessarily there. You know, maybe the cost of certain goods are going up a little bit. But you know what Oliver and Margaret are saying right now is that you know, their home with all their children in it. You know, you got to feed a bunch of kids. Even if you're in America, you know how much feeding a kid can be. But anywhere in the world, feeding a kid is no easy task. And you guys are feeding so many children. And so much of that food, you rely on local donations and local support, people just popping in and dropping off a lot of things. I've been able to see people just stop by and drop off a lot of food. And you guys don't have that right now. So you have a deficiency right there. And then on top of that, the cost of goods has risen because of this virus. I know in a previous conversation, we've talked about how even something like fruit has become an issue because the supply lines from the West have fallen apart, correct?
What we have done also, because of we didn't have even a way of enough resources now to do the feeding. We had even some goats here in the orphanage that we were keeping for our children and even for the project for agriculture for the year 2020. So what we did, we were forced to slaughter our goats and feed our children here because we could not just see the goats and the school is not going on. The kids are starving, they need to eat. So what we said, let's just slaughter them and feed our children one on one. Yeah. So that's what we've been doing. And I think it's only remaining one goat in the compound. We had that, I think it is a mother and a baby, only one and a baby. And I think we spared that one because she was pregnant. So, but the rest, we have already consuming them and feeding our children here. So,
yeah. So if you're watching this right now and this is resonating with you, we'll put a link below in the comment section about how you can specifically bless this ministry and give to this ministry. Yeah, you guys are struggling with a lot. Just specifically with COVID, there's a couple of other things I just wanted to briefly hit on. How is the situation of water with you guys? I know water's an issue in Nairobi right now. What's the issue of water like with you guys?
It's very, very hard. We are buying water. And we are not even sure of the water we are buying. People are bringing water with trucks because no water in Nairobi. The whole Nairobi, no water. Pipes are dry. So we are even scared of. We are even scared now of the other diseases.
Not had water for 1 month.
We have not been having water. Our pipe have been drying for a whole month now. For a whole month, there was no water. All these children, we need to wash our hands every day, sanitize. They need to eat, and there is no water. There is no water at all.
And so I know you guys have described to me why there's no water. Can you describe to the people watching why there's the lack of water in Nairobi?
Okay, the reason why there is no water in Nairobi is because the main tap.
They were broken. Sorry for that.
The main taps that distribute water to Nairobi area, they got broke up.
Yeah,
so
the heavy rain.
Through the heavy rain. So it became so hard for different regions to receive water, and that's why we've not been having water. But it's our prayer that it's going to be fixed.
According to the media.
According to the ministry, they say they're going to fix. So it's our prayer it's done very quickly because we are told to wash hands. So you cannot wash hands when you have no water, no running water.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, please put that at the priority as a priority prayer point in your life. Be praying that the pipes get fixed in Nairobi. There's a lot of issues going on right now, and water has nothing to do with the coronavirus. The pipes didn't break because of the coronavirus. They broke because of flooding, but they directly impact your life and the livelihood of the children. So please be praying for that. You know, I know right now in America, all the schools, like in Nairobi, all the schools are shut down. No children are going to school, and so children are staying home with their parents and their families right now. And I've talked to a lot of different parents, and they're telling me about how stressful that is, having to have their children inside their own room all
Can
day.
imagine.
Yeah, they don't know how to keep them entertained. You guys have a bunch of children in a very small area. How are you guys keeping them entertained?
It's very, very hard.
Very hard.
Now what we have come up, TV 24/7.
Yes, and then we give them
some work to do.
Schoolwork.
Some schoolwork.
Yeah.
We have come up with their timetable. They need to have time. Many of them also have been busy through the music. Like I've told our son, they got to keep on training some for music.
Yeah.
Give them some few work in the compound of cleanup, of maybe building our rabbits cages, just to create of something that will make the children working on the farm, feeding the cows, and cutting the grass for the cow. The girls in the kitchen cutting the kales, sukuma wiki, making beans, trying to give them just something to keep them busy. But that does not make, they cannot give you a headache. I'm telling you.
You can't, they've not done the utensils.
We talked earlier on WhatsApp, and right when you called me, I knew exactly where you were in the compound just because I could hear some children screaming and singing. So it's good to hear that they're singing.
Yeah.
You'll have to get Chogu to record a video of them. That way we can post on So's Facebook. That would be great to see.
Sure.
But yeah, again, love what you guys are doing there. Okay, so now I just want to, now we've kind of gone on an overview of how things are going with coronavirus. I want to move in. I just want to talk about what you guys, directly your ministry of Agape. Again, we hit on this at the very beginning of this conversation, but about the reality of street children. For those Americans watching, you know, like I said, a lot of ministries will work with orphaned and vulnerable children, but they'll often neglect working with street children. And that's largely due to the fact that street children have undergone some of the most severe trauma and have a lot of trauma-related issues and challenges that they face. And so they are very difficult to work with sometimes, but you guys have made that the heart of your ministry. Can you tell me a little bit about how you guys got started and the why behind your ministry? Why work with these children?
Okay. Agape Hope Children's Center, we started in 2002 through feeding program, and then we registered it in 2003. And when we got our certificate, that's the same date when our first daughter was born. So for us, Agape and our first child, they are twins. So from there, we used to feed street children, and then we realized feeding street children, you feed them today, tomorrow another group comes. So we wanted to bond with them, and we really wanted to know why. So when we tried to figure out, we found out that there are two different groups of street children. We have children of the street and then children on the street. So these children of the street, these are children who come in the morning and then they go back in the evening. And then children on the street, these are children who are born and raised in the streets. So we decided to see on how we can help them come out of the street if they are willing. And to be sincere, we found out that there are those who really wanted to come out of the street. So we got a drop-in center and we started a feeding program for them. So this feeding program, it continued for a couple of years before the government introduced free feeding program in schools. So when the government introduced free feeding program in schools, the children would still sneak, come and eat at Agape. And we didn't know why they used to come to eat at Agape. And we later found out that the reason why they came to eat at Agape is that those are some of the meals they would only get for that particular day. So we decided to see if we can talk to the government, and for the ones who would come have the meals on a daily basis, we didn't mind. So as we continued, every evening we would leave, close the gates, and go home. But when you come in the morning, you'll find there is someone who was here. So we later alerted to the one man who used to guard at the neighborhood. And he told us that there is one boy, immediately when you people leave, he sneaks in. So we later decided to stay a little bit late. So when the boy came in, we had to find out why. So this boy, we followed up and we found out that his mother had been admitted in hospital for 1 full year. And his 2 siblings were living with a neighbor. So we took in the children, and that's how now our home started.
Can you tell me a little bit about what are some of the specific challenges in raising a child from the streets that you've taken from the streets, a child of the streets?
The challenge is, these are the children that work without rules, without authority. They want to depend by themselves. They want to guide, to lead themselves. So now, we as Agape, once we bring them in, we don't want them to live a lonely life. We want a child to understand we must honor an authority. We need to be under law. We need to be under rules. But the children in the street, many of them, they don't see that. They want to depend for themselves. They want to lead themselves. And that's why we bring them, as I said earlier, we want to show them a family setup, where they need to know that there is a home, where there is a father, there is a mother, there are brothers and sisters, and respect is a must to be there, and put some values of a family to their lives. Because if they keep living alone on what they have been doing, end of the day, we don't have a good society. So they need to accept the rules. And that's why when they come here, we can bring 10 of them, and maybe we can stay with 1. The rest don't want to stay. Later they'll jump again and run back to the street. Once they see us, they say, oh, daddy, mom. We greet them, of course. We support where we can. We bring them back again. We can bring 10 and all of them run back again. There's a time we can bring 10 and all the 10 remains in the home. They say, this is a place we want to be. So that's why we have been having also a challenge for that, because the issue here in the street, some feel like begging and asking for help is more important. That is the best thing they should do, but it's a temporary.
Okay, and another thing, in Agape, we believe we are not an institution. Agape, we believe we are a family. And when a child comes in, the child knows that this is my dad and this is my mom. Yeah. In Agape, we don't have directors. We don't feel, in fact, to me, I really feel that name, or rather that title, being very heavy. So when I'm called mom and he's called daddy, we feel, yeah, we are in the same level. These are our children. And I'll say that we've had successful stories whereby we've rescued a boy. He's come through our ministry. He's gone through school, primary. We've taken him to college. And now he's a family man. We also have the little girl. I won't say the name. You know the little girl. She came here when she was 9 months old, and she was born on the streets. Right now, she's 5 years old.
With long hair.
With the long hair.
Yeah.
So we really thank God, because we have praise stories. We have something good. We have tangible stories. I mean, things that we can tell people, so and so came from here, and this person is this person. So when people say street children are not, they're not good children, they're bad children, I'll say they are the best. If you
Amen.
take them and show them
Love.
you show them,
Guidance.
you guide them, you tell them this is right, this is wrong. Okay, it will take time. They'll hurt you, you'll feel offended, but trust me, if you are patient enough, you will learn they are the best children to take care.
Amen. Like you guys said, working with street children, there's 140 to 160 million children in the world that would classify as orphan, and just a percentage of those are children directly from the streets. I've been all over Nairobi. I've been in urban areas around the world and seen street children. It's something that I hate to see, but it's something that's so difficult to work with these children. But I think what makes you guys successful at doing it, where others struggle often, is exactly in your name, Agape. You guys have made that
Yes.
the core of who you are. It's the love
Yes.
of God. It's not the best of
love of
Oliver's
God.
love or Maggie's love or Coleman's love. It's the very best of God's love, and that's what changes a child's life. And so I think you see that in two major ways with your ministry specifically. One, it's just this persistence. You see the way Jesus goes after the one lost sheep, and he just keeps going over and over and over again. The love of the Father for the prodigal son, who just keeps loving over and over and over again. Like you said, if you bring 10 street children in, most of the time those 10 street children they'll run away just because they're used to. Hey Chogo, how you doing? Just because they're used to the lack of rules on the streets. But you guys just keep going after, and so it's that persistence, but then also it's just the love of a father and a mother, and that's what you give them. Hey,
These are Max. It's called Max.
Max, yeah. Max was there. He had just come in the last time I was there. It's good to see Max. He's getting big.
Yeah, Max is getting big.
Yeah. Jumbo Max. Habari yako?
Missouri.
I like that tongue. There you go. But yeah.
And you know what we have been telling our children, even when they come to Agape, we give them a policy of sharing is caring.
Amen.
And caring is love.
Amen. Caring is love.
Yeah. It's raining outside here. I don't have to go to the office. It's trying to rain inside.
Well, how about this? How about we'll wrap this up in about 3 minutes.
Okay.
But if you could just be letting everyone know, what are some of the biggest needs you guys have right now? What can people be praying for?
Wow.
Land.
Our big problem,
Is
brother,
land.
is land. Where we operating is a rental place. We were working in another place, a rental place, for 9 years. We were chased out like chicken. We came out moving around with carrying our goats, chickens, blankets, beds. We were walking like the same way. It's not different. The way the Israelites left Egypt. That's why we came from that place, walking. And now we are here. It's almost to 8. We are approaching the same year again. So our worry now is after 9 years, are going to be kicked out again. So we are praying, please to whoever who can hear us, support us, help us, pray for us, so we can get a land, permanent land for this ministry, for these children. We want them to have a place they can call home. Once we old, once we are tired, once we cannot do this, we'll know that as any parent want to leave something for the children. And as we feel like, even if God wants to take us any day, if we leave a building or a land for the orphanage, Agape, it will be really something that our heart will be very happy with. So we are really praying for the land where we are operating is a rental place. We pay rent every day, every month. So it's very hard for us. So our prayer item is land. Yeah. Second is protection of COVID-19. Protection. for COVID-19. May God cover the children, especially the orphans children who don't have somebody to take care of them. That is our cry. That's our cry. Protection. And also to people, to all people who have been supporting us, people who have been standing with us. May that cover be upon them also.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. Yeah, we're praying for you guys. I believe in you guys. I love you guys so much. Again, just for those of you who are watching, there are a couple of great ways that you can make a huge impact in Agape and the ministry that's going on there right now. First and foremost, the best thing that you can do is pray. I don't want to throw that off to the side. Prayer is the front line of anything that we do in ministry. And so please intercede for them, pray for them. On top of that, you can support a child. We have the child sponsorship program set up at Agape Hope. You can go to the website. We'll put the link below to where you can go and you can sponsor a child. And 100% of everything's going directly to them for that. And then finally, you can pray and see about what you can do about this issue of land. Like they said, from the beginning of their ministry, they've just rented properties. And the property that they're on right now is rented property. They're on about a half acre of land, and you say, man, they're doing so much on a half acre of land, and you don't even know the half of it. Because it's not they've rented a building, they've just rented land. And so because of that, all of the structures that are built on it are just temporary structures. They're tin walls and wood frames holding everything together, but it's just all temporary structures. There's no permanent structures on the property. And so they haven't been able to build these permanent good structures for the children because of the lack of land. So please be praying about it. I think the last time we talked, the land that you guys are on right now cost what, $300,000 US?
Yes, yeah, that is 30 million Kenya shillings. Yeah.
And so 30 million Kenyan shillings, about 300,000 US dollars. That seems like a big amount, but we serve the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. And so, that's nothing for God. So please be praying about that specifically. And anything you guys can do to help. But yeah, Oliver, Margaret, I love you guys. I love being able to see you.
We love you too. We love you. And thank you so much, even to all viewers. We say thank you so much. May God bless you.
God bless you.
And may God protect you.
And
Amen.
I'll be praying for everything, but I'll be specifically praying that some of these travel restrictions go down. That way I can come and visit you guys sooner. So
welcome, brother. We miss you.
I miss you guys. But yeah, I love you guys, and I'll let you get away from the rain. So goodbye, guys. I'll see you later.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.